Hey friends, Ben here. Just popping in to say that there's no new episode this week. We were supposed to record a couple weeks ago, but then I got sick, and the week after that, my guest got sick, and instead of trying to scramble to put a recording together within a couple days of posting, I decided to just take a week off. So, new episodes will return next week. But didn't want to leave you with nothing, so I decided to take this opportunity to do something I've been wanting to do for a little while now. The show's been getting a lot of new listeners recently, which is awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you stick around. I wanted to give new listeners a good place to start. It can also often be intimidating getting into a new podcast for the first time that's been going on for a while, especially one like this where it's sort of you got to jump in with the narrative somewhere, you know what I mean. So I figured I would take that opportunity this off week to do that now. Here's what's going on. My name's Ben, a little bit about me. About 3 years ago, I made a Twilight sign for my wife's half marathon. It said, "You're impossibly fast and strong." And then that got really popular online, so I talked about it on Jeopardy a couple times, and now I have this Twilight podcast. Anyway, that's what's going on with me, I guess. I'm watching Twilight one scene at a time with a new guest every week. You'll hear me say that on every episode. One question that listeners have been asking is recommendations for a good place to start. That's a great question. You could just start with episode 1 and work your way through the entire catalog, or if you want a quicker way to get caught up, I've posted a couple recap episodes back there in the catalog. Recap number 1, some of my favorite clips from episodes 1 through 15. I think that's a pretty good place for a new listener to jump into the show. If you do want to check that out, here's a little sample of things you might hear. He's like hunched over. Like he's
would
worried.
love to know his story.
I would love, and that's Twilight is full of that.
Yeah.
Twilight is full of people that you're like, I want to know what's going on
Books
with
from
you.
other perspectives.
I mean, you could show your Spartan spurt, but
That's worse.
so much worse.
That's worse.
It's a frivolous moment that quickly turns into danger.
Was he maybe wearing massive mittens and couldn't tell the difference?
I think that was probably
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same ones that he had to use to hold those biscuits. They're
To
so
pull
hot.
the lobsters out of the oven.
Pull the lobsters
Yeah.
out of the oven. Yeah, he worked at My Dad is Red, who owns Red Lobster.
But it wasn't hard to fall on my butt. I've done it before.
Ha 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 ha. Those were some fun memories. I also did this for episodes 16 through 30. If you scroll back through the podcast feed, you'll find bite-sized recap 2 or something like that. That episode sounds a little something like this.
Oh my. There's a cat coming toward the mic.
I've got a kitty right here, and I would like you to try to make him meow.
Okay. I'm not going to shake your cat.
Yeah.
She wants information. She wants to know, how'd you get so zoomy? How'd you get to be a big parking lot zoomy boy?
Yeah.
And he won't tell her.
I would venture to guess that everybody was dressed like professionally by a wardrobe person, but
There's no way that's true, but keep talking. Ha ha ha. Boy, what a time we had. Another thing I've been wanting to do is give a couple listener shout outs to people who have reached out to the show. You can do that by sending an email or a DM on social media. Listeners like Itzel from France have done that, saying that she listens while she is taking her kids to daycare. So glad I could keep you company there on your walks. And also suggests, since you started the extra segment, I just want to go to the Twilight Shitposting Facebook page and ask people if they were an extra in the movie to publish a photo of them from the movie and a personal photo of themselves to prove it, and tell us a small anecdote about their experience during the filming of the movie. That's a great idea, Itzel. In fact, I want to put the word out here and everywhere else on the internet. It is my goal to get someone who was in the movie Twilight on this show. Obviously, my current golden standard, the one I'd love to get on the most, is Kellen Lutz, but seriously, I will take anyone. If you or anyone you know are in contact with someone who is in the movie Twilight, please send them my way. Itzel says, it is possible to say okay without moving your lips at all. Take that, Sarah. You can find out more about that ongoing argument if you go back and listen to episode 34 with recurring guest Sarah Murphy. Itzel, thank you for the email. If you, listener, want to send an email to the show, you can do so. Send an email to myfavoritetwilightpodcast@gmail.com. You can also send a DM to the show on social media, Instagram and TikTok @bitesizedpod_, and I will for sure see it. Kara from Hawaii did that and said, love the podcast. It inspired me to reread the book and rewatch the movie after over a decade. Glad I could inspire you. If you do decide to rewatch the movies because of this show, don't don't do it one scene at a time. Maybe do it the normal way. If you want to reach out to the show, you can find all my contact information, not all of it, not like my phone number or anything. You can find all of the show's contact information at twilightpodcast.com, a very real URL that I definitely own. That's it for today. We will see you again next week as we return to our regularly scheduled episodes. I've got some guests coming up that I'm pretty excited about. See you next time.